Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today I'm going to demo on the SONULAB SompStation how to build a lead tone for solos. Right, so right now this is our interface. You have a couple of options here. You have the application, you have settings like tuner, foot switch, input and other stuff, because you can assign different stuff to this pedal. It's here on my desk. I don't know if you guys, the camera probably won't capture it. Then you have also audio USB. Right now I'm using via USB because I want to have the stereo effects. So I'm going to disengage everything, just leave the amp as it is. And right now the amp that I'm using, let's go here, it's this, I think the one I've chose was of a Marshall, because you can see all the amps they have. You're going to SONULAB, and here on the site, if you click here on Discover SompStation, you can see all the amps there are based on. So you can see here you have a bunch of downloads for the firmware, the control app that I'm showing on the background, the firmware releases and stuff like that. Then you have here the preloaded presets. In case you overwrite one of the presets, you can come here and re-download them. So for a Marshall type of tone, a JCM would be Brit Drive, okay? The every name is here. And you also have some presets for Marco Phantom. So let's go for the number 3, Brit Drive, which is a Marshall JCM 800. So Brit time, where is it? Okay, so see, this is our Marshall. Now we're using an IR that comes preloaded as well. And you can see here, it's Brit, this one, probably a Marshall cab with V30s, and it sounds like this just by itself. By the way, this pedal sounds excellent, more than enough to record an whole album. So I'm hearing some noise already. Can put a bit louder here on the pedal. So I'm going straight to my gate and engage it. Right now, basic tone, but it would be more than enough to record, you know, rhythm tones. You still don't have a booster on this software. I don't know if they're going to upgrade eventually the software with other stuff, although you have a couple of really cool things. But I think I'm missing a booster and more of a dedicated EQ than you have here, because the EQ that you have here is very, very simple. It's just low, middle, and treble, and then level, okay? But, and then IRs, you can import your own IRs. You can use 2 IRs at the same time and pan one to the left, the other to the right. Really cool as well. And right now, I'm going to low cut it here on the IR, around 80 probably, because I don't need that low-end information for a solo tone, not even for a rhythm tone. And I'm going to my amp. Then on the amp, you have also basic control like sag, volume, and gain. So if I put this max out, but this kind of works like, even if you don't have a booster, because you can just connect like a pedal like this, a mini tube screamer, in front and have a booster. I want to try that on a separate video. But even without a booster, if you have more like a PV tone or something, it sounds like you have a boost engaged. And this is just a Marshall, okay? So I'm happy with my IR. Low cut, I could bring it down to around 10. Let's see if I'm missing anything. Louder here for me. Okay, everything is fine. Let's see now about modulation. Now modulation, you have chorus, flanger, phaser, and that's it. Then you have here a lot of controls for everything. Right now I'm going to leave it disengaged. I'm going to my reverb. There's all, galaxy, and room. So they're all very different. If you have room, just a simple room. Okay. Now, with a lot of controls, dry, wet, modulation, even reverb has some modulation to it. Then you have hall. Okay. And then you have my favorite one, it's Galaxy. Maybe my guitar is out of tune. But okay, so I'm going to leave it as it is right now. I think it's pretty good. Just to dry wet a little bit down for now. This has a huge decay, man, for ambient stuff and, you know, crazy stuff, really. So it's really, really good. Modulation, high damp, low damp, I think it's kind of cool the way it is. And now I'm going to my delay. And delay, you have just one delay. Right now it's around 300 milliseconds. I'm going to engage it here. But before, let me disengage my reverb just so you can hear just the delay. Okay, analog delay, if you put it like this, the repeats will be much darker. You also have tape option that gives you some flutter, you know. Could be cool for some stuff. I can leave it like so in 5%. But I want to have more of a longer delay here, probably like a 500 milliseconds or 600 milliseconds. Because now you have a very cool stuff there. It's stereo spread, so it's very wide. Okay, just a stereo spread does this. Without it, very centered. But you also have bouncing, so bouncing will be left and right. So you give it more of a stereo spread here with bouncing around 50% around here. You can low cut it as well. I'm gonna low cut it around 100. I don't need nothing below that. So it already has a lot of a little bit of modulation because of the tape, and you can put like analog around 10, so darker tails. Okay, if I want to go for probably more of a solo tone, probably it's better to get around 300 milliseconds, 400 milliseconds, something like that. Now I can engage my reverb, so the delay goes into the reverb. And now I notice that we have a lot of reverb, so I'm going to reduce the, where is it, dry wet, around 15. Okay, I think it's cool, but I'm going to disengage this one because I'm going to go into my EQ to shape the sound for a solo tone using the neck pickup on this Charvel. Now you have a very, very interesting tone, very crunchy. With a lot of lows, and I can low cut here, already did, but I'm gonna low cut even further, around 120. So when I go to the upper strings, I still have that, so I'm going to my amp, and what I'm gonna do, not in my amp, but on EQ, I'm going to low down also the low end here, to bring down, I mean, around 5 dB. I can even bring it even more, a little bit, around 7. Very, very authentic tone, man. And I'm using the amp, if I put it like less gain. I think for the size, this is probably one of the best, if not the best unit out there in terms of tones. This is an Italian company and they are growing, and I think their products for now, they stomp. And another plugin that I'm going to review very, very soon. Stay tuned because it's very interesting, really. So for our solo tone, we want to have a lot of gain, right? So around 15. Depends if you're depending on your taste, but I like to have a lot of gain. Sometimes I can play more, you know, low gain stuff with staccato stuff that I really like. But for now, let's bring all the gain up. So I increase the mids. Let's see how it sounds. There's not much low-end information, but that's the way I want it, because this is a tone to cut through the mix. So I'm going to put 5 on the treble just to see what happens, without changing cabinets, you know. A little bit too, not ear piercing, but too much treble probably. But you wanna have treble because, or presence, because then the tone won't cut. If I engage my modulation, I have a chorus. Then I have a flanger. And then I have a phaser. The thing here is, I believe, is not possible to drag and drop. It's a fixed chain, at least for now. I could use like a chorus, but it would be something very, very low, because you already have some modulation on delay and reverb. So let's put our delay. Now our reverb. I want to have some more repeats on the delay, like so. Let me increase this. And the stereo spread is really amazing. If I put like 70%, it's really cool. So now I can go here and increase a little bit more the gain, around 18. We have a lot of gain. The gate, I haven't changed the gate, and it's behaving very good. You have attack, release, and hysteresis that I really don't know what it does right now, but I'll find out soon. Okay, so you basically have a great tone already. A little more body to the tone. Let's not reduce so much, around 3 dBs, around that. Don't forget, you can load your own impulse responses and then NAM files. Now on the compressor side of things, I think it's going to give me a bump in volume. Let's see. Not necessarily, but this is important because you want to have some sustain, right? So I'm going to go for a not so fast attack, around 60 probably. I think it still needs more gain, and the fast release around here. Even on the compressor you have control for brightness. I don't know if I turn it down. Very subtle, but it does do something. You have makeup gain, and on the amp I'm going to max out the gain. There's amps with more gain, of course. But I want to have a tone like it's Marshall bass because it has more mids, you know, and I'm going to increase it even more, and it will stand out more, you know. Sounds like very crystal clear. I haven't done a video yet, but I'm going to do it with a Fender Strat because I think I'm going to get some great tones. This is amazing, man. This SONULAB SompStation is really good. Now I'm powering it via USB because it has 2 USB ports, One on the top for firmwares, and the one on the bottom is the one that you connect to use it as a sound card, audio interface. And oddly enough, the name that appears on, in this case in Logic I'm using, for the sound card or audio interface is speaker. It doesn't say SONULAB, says speaker, just speaker, okay? So yeah, I think I'm very happy with this tone. I can increase a little bit more the mids and reduce a little bit the treble, just a tiny bit. This is on the neck pickup, and it sounds really great. And you can pretty much simulate all of your favorite artists and you know and amps and stuff like that just with this simple layout of the software. Now imagine if they add more stuff, and it will be just amazing because the core unit is amazing. And also, Logic is at 64 buffer size. I don't have to engage anything. Latency is very, very low, almost inaudible, you know? And that's very important. Unlike some other great units that are on the market, much more affordable, but they have latency issues. Especially for recording. I'm having that vibe of sort of I'm playing like a Strat or something like that, because it's so crystal clear, man. It sounds really great, man. And you can use it at a rhythm tone as well. Cutting my tone. Sorry guys, I can't remember how to play this. Now I'm going to take my gate not off, but reduce the threshold, so I'll have a bit more noise, because I want to roll down my volume knob and still have sound. So it's right now around 7, 6, 5, less gain. Take a listen to these tones. pull tone, knob. So this is a lot of mistakes from a guy that doesn't warm up usually. So now I can just click here and overwrite this one. Okay, I just overwrite it, but it's still called Brit Drive. So if I open these little three dots and open list here where it says Brit Drive, I can edit it and call it JN Brit Solo, JN for Juca Nery. Click OK. And then all I have to do is click this down arrow. This can be a little bit confusing because normally you have an up arrow in the world of the Boss Katanas to export, but that's not the way you do it here. You click the down arrow and it will download the tone. Not download, we'll export the tone to your downloads folder. At least on the Mac, I expect on Windows to be the same thing. So on my downloads folder right now, around down here, I have the tone there. Okay, you just import it then. It's very, very easy. Now, I can go for a different amp just to try out, maintain everything as is, but going for like a J50 replica, not this one, I want a PV. I don't know how it's going to sound right now, but there's a lot of gain. More gain and more aggressive, but the IR sounds great nonetheless. See, I just changed. As you can see, it's very tight even without a booster in front. But I can go here on the IR and choose something that is related to the amp. Now, what would that be? I have no idea, but I'm going to go for a different cabinet, like a Boogie, probably very. Okay, let me increase my noise gate because right now we're having a lot of noise. Much darker, as you guys can see. So I could go here on the cab and the high cut, put it around like 15. Now we have more of smooth tone, I would say, right? With much more gain. New note. Too much bass, but it's totally different, man, so. Great tones, man. Stay tuned for more tutorials on the SONULAB SompStation. I always have difficulty saying this because SONULAB audio system and then SompStation. Now I can save this one as well and just download it and put it there. It's a free patch, so download it if you have this unit. If you don't have this unit, I highly recommend you to get one because, like I said, it retails around 250 if I'm not mistaken, but it's worth every penny. It has the best sounds of the, small size units with bunch of effects and amps and NEM modelers and stuff like that. This one is the best one. And I'm not being paid to say that, okay? So it's really, really worth it. And my band and we are recording. We're using two units. We're using the SONULAB and the Fractal FM9. And although the Fractal is on another level, in terms of tones, I can get pretty safe that the tones are very comparable, if not almost the same, you know, there's no discernible difference. Of course, the F9 is more capable of doing other stuff, but the core tone is here. So if you guys want an excellent box, I can't pick it up because I don't know if you guys can see it. Really, really small unit, you know? And you can use this to change between two patches, but if you also have controls here for expression pedal, other pedals to change patches, 2 inputs, 2 outputs, and it's amazing, man. Headphones out. It's really cool. It's the best stomp I've ever had. They sent me this one, but I highly recommend it. So hope you guys enjoyed this long video tutorial, and make sure to grab one because it's really worth it. I'll see you on the next one. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, by the way, and stay tuned for more tutorials on this one, okay? Cheers, guys. Have a nice one.